We'll get on to our next interview. And we'll get up Yargi from Yargi Racing. Now that all of our pockets are full with their winner, Seymour. So, Ash and Amy have been our trainers for about 3 or 4 years now. Anyone missed it last year, Ash used to work for Anthony Friedman when he was training, and he was foreman there for about 15 years. So he learned from the best, and now he's joined Amy, his wife, in partnership, and they're doing a real good job for us. Although we've had a very tough weekend, the dream team with Ash and Amy this weekend. So we'll go through the trials and tribulations of what's happened. So Ganjitana. It's a funny meeting, that meeting at Flemington. You sort of come to sort of middle of September and you get a horse that you think can play a big part in spring, and you either you come away from that meeting and you have one, or you don't have one. And unfortunately, Ganjitano, well, you can explain, Ash, what happened to Ganjitano yesterday and what have you found out after the race, and what are the plans for him now?
Thank you for everyone for coming today. And look, when you run up and said that this was meant to be on the Sunday, and we had those 2 runners today, before today, I was a little bit nervous. But look, going back to Ganjitana, look, he's a horse that we've had obviously a big opinion of, and I think last year we said when we had this same function that we thought that the horse could be a stakes horse, and he ran really well in the Mercy and Cooper, as you know, placed as a 2-year-old stakes grade. And look, the horse has done a really good job this preparation. He's only been beaten a couple of lengths his first up this preparation against some pretty nice horses, and tried to, we just had a good throw at the stumps doing, trying to make him a stakes horse during the spring, but unfortunately it was a little bit disappointing yesterday and didn't really pull up very well. So I think the time has come that we give him a nice break and probably look at the option of going the horse going forward.
Yeah, he was there presented with opportunity. We didn't sort of let down as what we hoped. And yeah, we will put him out for a spell now and give him a bit of a break, and plan a plot to the autumn with him, and probably look to geld him in the break so that he comes back and there'll be no excuses next autumn for him, I suppose. And then on Friday we had Telescope, and we went to Geelong, hoping we'd have another spring hopeful, and she pulled up with shin soreness. But you can explain it was pretty bad, the shin soreness that she got.
Yeah, look, she's a filly that we've also got a big opinion about. She's one of the jump outs, quite impressive. Jamie Carr, who's ridden the horse into 3 occasions, has got a really good opinion about her as well. She's a beautiful filly by Zoo Star that was always going to get there with time, but once again, similar to Ganjitano, right time of the year being a 3-year-old, we had to throw up the stumps, and as Dave mentioned, it either makes him or breaks him, and she just pulled up really shinny from that run. The ground was very firm. She's a very mature horse, and felt the pinch in that race and put up extremely shin sore. At the start, I was really, really disappointed. First, when I watched the race, to see her finish the way she did, but when we got her back home, it was quite a big reason for her to finish the way she did. So it's not a big issue. We'll turn her out, and I think she will come back a better horse. As I stated, she's very mature, and I think we'll have a really good autumn with her.
So shin soreness is something that, it occurs a lot in horses, and you would have experienced a lot with the horses, even when you time the Friedman. So, sort of what is it, and how do they overcome it, and does it have any sort of pose any long-term problem?
Shin soreness can be common in young horses, especially 2-year-old, but in her case, obviously being 3, it's not a big issue. It can sort of come out pretty quickly with time off. And obviously being a little bit immature, we've seen shin soreness at her age of being 3, so that can be a little bit uncommon, but the fact is that she is, I've stated, very immature, and I feel like with the right time off, it shouldn't be a problem going forward.
Hissy fit. She had a bit of a short campaign before the spring, and then we decided to give her a bit of a short break so we could sort of time her prep in conjunction with the Moonee Valley sort of sprint season. So when is she due back in work, and what's sort of the plan going forward with her to get her back to racing?
After her second performance at Moonee Valley, we decided with Dave to put the horse out for a short break. Just going forward into the spring, we felt like the races were going to be very tough. We didn't want to keep running into horses that were sort of progressing into the spring, and we felt like the horse would be better suited in the summer months. So Moonee Valley would be a good race course for her. Obviously the short trip, 955 1,000-metre races there, and we gave her a month off now, and she's due to come back in on Monday, and we'll target those fast races at Moonee Valley.
Yeah, so she's a filly that showed a lot of pace. Her full brother is stakes placed as well, Battleton. And we've got the 3/4 brother, which is the Zuzane Dalton colt, unnamed at the moment, but we'll get him named pretty quickly. He seems to be a ready-made 2-year-old type, so sort of what has he shown you today to give you an impression that he might be able to race in the spring?
He's showing similar sort of what we saw with Hissy Fit. Basically, Hissy Fit's quite a small horse, but she's very fast, and she's got a very good willing to win in gallops, trials, races. She's a very fast horse, so we've got a bigger version, a stronger version of Hissy Fit. So we feel like he'll be very early. We've already prepped him up to be targeting races before Christmas, and he's been back in work for about a month now and showing all the right signs that a horse needs to be running before Christmas, and we're very happy with the horse. He's actually grown up a lot, even in the short time that he had off, and we feel like this is the perfect horse to be targeting races early.
So when would you think he'd be sort of trialling? Is it when are the 2-year-old trials coming up in October, I suppose?
Yeah, look, we're going to target some trials around that area. So he's probably about 4 weeks away, or 3 to 4 weeks away from having his first jump out, I would imagine. He's showing more than what Gangitano did at the same stage, and we sort of got into the Mercy Trooper at a good frame of mind, and we feel like this horse would be a perfect target for a race like that, Mercy Trooper. And hopefully we can keep him going, but as you know, it's quite hard to keep these 2-year-olds in the right frame of mind and sound, and hopefully he can keep going.
Any more tips for the punters out there today? Or?
Mississippi made you race well.
Who wrote that one, by the way?
Body.
Very good. All right, thanks, Ash. Thanks, Amy.